Christmas Eve, 1945, Fayetteville, West Virginia. The town was blanketed in snow, its streets quiet as families gathered in their warm homes preparing for a night of celebration and togetherness. The Sodder family was preparing for a quiet holiday, unaware their world was about to shatter. Their home was filled with laughter, the scent of pine, and the anticipation of Christmas morning. That night, a sudden fire tore through their home, turning joy into terror in a matter of minutes. Flames devoured the house as the family scrambled to escape. When the flames died, 5 Sodder children were gone, vanished without a trace. Their beds were empty, their voices silenced, leaving only questions behind. No remains, no evidence, nothing to prove they died in the blaze. Investigators searched the ruins but found only ashes and heartbreak. The official story said they perished in the fire, but their parents never believed it. George and Jenny Sodder clung to hope, refusing to accept the finality of loss without proof. For decades, George and Jenny Sodder searched for answers, convinced their children were taken. They posted flyers, followed leads, and pleaded for help, never letting the world forget. The night was filled with joy but ended in unimaginable loss. What should have been a time of celebration became a night of sorrow that would echo for generations. How could 5 children disappear so completely? Their absence haunted every corner of the ruined home, every memory of that night. Was the fire a tragic accident, or a cover for something far more sinister? Whispers of foul play and unanswered questions lingered in the air. The Sodder case became one of America's most haunting mysteries, capturing headlines and imaginations across the country. What really happened to Maurice, Martha, Louis, Jenny, and Betty Sodder? Their faces became symbols of hope, loss, and the search for truth. Did they die in the fire, or were they stolen away under the cover of smoke and chaos? Theories abounded, but certainty remained elusive. The answers remained buried in time, speculation, and grief. The Sodder family's pain became a legacy, passed down through the years. This is a story that begins with a fire, but ends with a question mark, a mystery that refuses to fade, a puzzle that has haunted a family and a town for nearly 80 years, leaving scars that time cannot heal. We're left to piece it together, one chilling detail at a time, searching for answers in the shadows of the past. The mystery begins on a cold, silent night, and its echoes still linger, waiting to be solved. To truly understand the mystery that would haunt Fayetteville for decades, you must first know the Sodder family, their roots, their dreams, and the bonds that held them together. George, an Italian immigrant who arrived in America with little more than hope, built a thriving trucking business in Fayetteville, West Virginia. Through hard work and determination, he became a respected figure in the community. He was outspoken, especially against Mussolini, the Italian dictator. His strong opinions earned him both admiration and animosity, making him a man both respected and at times resented. Jenny, his devoted wife, was the heart and soul of their bustling home. She managed the household and lovingly raised their 10 children, creating a warm and lively environment. The Sodders were prosperous by local standards, their house standing out as one of the nicest in town, a symbol of their hard-earned success and the pride they took in their family. 9 children lived at home, filling the house with laughter and energy. The eldest, Joe, was away serving in the military, a source of pride and worry for the family. The missing children, Maurice, Martha, Louis, Jenny, and Betty, were bright, joyful, and full of anticipation for Christmas, their excitement filling the house with holiday spirit. That Christmas Eve, the older kids stayed up late, playing with new toys and sharing stories, while the younger ones drifted off to sleep safe and content in their beds. Fayetteville was a close-knit, working-class town where everyone knew each other. The Sodders stood out, not just for their success but for the sheer size and warmth of their family. George's political views sometimes led to heated arguments with neighbors and acquaintances, a detail that would later cast a long, troubling shadow over the tragedy that struck. That night, Jenny agreed to let the children stay up a little longer, not realizing it would be the last time she'd see 5 of them together, safe and happy. The Sodders were a family full of life, laughter, and hope, until everything changed in a single, devastating night. Their story would become a legend of loss, heartbreak, and unanswered questions that would echo through generations. Around 1 a.m. on Christmas morning, Jenny Sodder was awakened by a wrong number call. The voice on the other end was unfamiliar, almost hurried, and the laughter in the background felt strangely out of place for the hour. Jenny hung up, unsettled, her mind racing with questions she couldn't quite form. She noticed the lights were on and the door unlocked. Odd, but she went back to bed, trying to shake off the uneasy feeling that lingered in the quiet house. An hour later, a loud thud on the roof jolted her awake, followed by the unmistakable smell of smoke drifting through the hallway. Panic set in as she realized something was terribly wrong. The house was on fire. Flames licked the walls, devouring everything in their path with terrifying speed. George, Jenny, and 4 children escaped, but the 5 youngest were trapped upstairs, their cries lost in the roar of the blaze. Flames blocked the staircase. Rescue was impossible. The heat was overwhelming and the smoke thickened with every second. Outside, the family watched helplessly as their home burned, powerless to save those still inside. Every attempt to save the children was thwarted. The phone line was dead, the ladder missing, the trucks wouldn't start. It was as if fate itself had conspired against them. Neighbors tried to call the fire department but couldn't reach an operator. Minutes felt like hours as the fire raged on. The fire department arrived hours later, too late to save the house or the children. The house was reduced to ashes, and the 5 children were gone. Only smoldering debris remained where laughter once echoed. The series of failures that night seemed almost orchestrated, each obstacle more chilling than the last. The Sodders' world was destroyed in a matter of hours, their lives forever changed by tragedy and unanswered questions. The fire was fast, merciless, and left only questions in its wake, questions that would haunt the family for years. How could so many things go wrong at once? Was it simply bad luck? Or was there something more sinister at play? Was it all a tragic coincidence or something more? The Sodders could not shake the feeling that the truth was being kept from them. The Sodders were left with nothing but grief and suspicion, their hearts heavy with loss and doubt. The mystery deepened as the sun rose on Christmas morning, casting long shadows over the ruins. The search for answers had only just begun, and the Sodder family's quest for truth would become a legend whispered for generations. By morning, the Sodder home was a smoldering ruin. Fire Chief Morris and his crew arrived too late to help. The official cause, faulty wiring, and the children's bodies supposedly destroyed by the heat, but George and Jenny didn't buy it. The house had been recently rewired and declared safe. The cut phone line, missing ladder, and disabled trucks felt like sabotage, not coincidence. In the weeks before the fire, a stranger warned George about the fuse boxes, and an insurance salesman threatened him, citing his anti-Mussolini views. The investigation was cursory. No real search for remains was done. Chief Morris claimed to find no bones. George bulldozed the site, creating a memorial garden. Death certificates were issued, but the Sodders refused to accept the official story. For them, the case was far from closed. They believed their children had been taken, not lost to the fire. The mystery only grew darker. Authorities insisted the children died in the fire, their bodies destroyed by intense heat. The delayed fire response and strange events were chalked up to bad luck and holiday chaos. But experts doubted a house fire could leave no trace, not even bones or teeth. A local crematorium worker told Jenny that even at extreme temperatures, bones remained. The absence of remains was the biggest challenge to the official story. The cause, faulty wiring, was also questionable, since the house had been recently inspected. The family found a strange rubber object in the ashes, possibly an incendiary device. The accident theory required ignoring too many anomalies. For the Sodders, the pieces didn't fit. The official explanation was simple, but the evidence suggested something else. The mystery refused to die. The search for truth continued. The Sodders believed their children were kidnapped, not killed. The fire, they thought, was a cover for abduction, punishment for George's political views. Theories pointed to the local mafia or those angered by George's anti-Mussolini stance. The threatening insurance salesman became a key suspect. The cut phone line, missing ladder, and disabled trucks looked like a coordinated plan. There were reported sightings of the children with adults in the days after the fire. Some believed the children were lured out by someone they trusted. The mysterious phone call could have been a signal. The lack of remains made the kidnapping theory hard to dismiss. For the Sodders, hope was stronger than grief. Jenny Sodder never stopped searching for her children. She wore black for the rest of her life, mourning and refusing to give up. The Sodders erected a billboard with their children's photos and a reward, keeping the case in the public eye for decades. They hired private investigators, uncovering disturbing details. like the insurance salesman serving on the coroner's jury. Rumors swirled. The fire chief allegedly found a heart in the ashes, but it turned out to be beef liver. In 1968, Jenny received a photo of a young man resembling Louis, with a cryptic note. The lead went nowhere, but it reignited hope. The family chased every clue, no matter how faint. The billboard became a symbol of their relentless search. The Sodders' quest for answers was tireless, fueled by love and loss. Each new clue brought hope and heartbreak. The mystery only deepened with time. The search for the missing Sodder children became a lifelong mission. Decades passed, but the Sodder family never stopped searching. George died in 1969, still believing his children were alive. Jenny followed in 1989, her home filled with case files and memories. The famous billboard was finally taken down after her death. The remaining Sodder children and later their children carried on the search. Sylvia, the last survivor from that night, died in 2021, convinced the truth was never told. The family hopes that modern DNA technology might one day provide answers. The case remains unsolved, a haunting piece of Appalachian folklore. Was it a tragic fire or a perfect crime? The truth lingers in the silence, waiting to be found.